All right, so it's that time where I make a video about a stock that has a vibe to it. And that stock happens to be Beyond Meat. Now, if you haven't already started trading it today, well, you might get a chance. You see, the stock Beyond Meat is currently on a massive run. It is up 150% today, and it seems like there is a lot of sentiment here from the retailers, the Wall Street bets, Twitter. Everybody's kind of hyping it up right now. And this could be the next big short squeeze. Now, I am very skeptical. Okay, I've always been very skeptical about these things, and when I play these type of stocks and when I trade these type of stocks, I don't go big size. I try to take a small position and catch as much as I can and be happy with what I've gotten. When GameStop ran, a little bit of history. When GameStop ran, there was a stock called AMC. I'm sure you guys know, right? I was one of the first person to have made a YouTube video on it before AMC made its run. I remember the exact time I made that video. It was when AMC was somewhere around $2.78 or $2.88, something like that. Am I the first one to make a video? I don't know, but I was one of the first ones. And I watched that stock run to 72 and come back down. The spots where I sold that stock, my options, I sold them at $16 and then $20. And then I had a very few contracts that I sold a little bit higher, but I didn't hold all the way to 72. What I did hold all the way to 72 was my shares that I bought. And I averaged those shares up. I bought them at $2.78, and then I ran them all the way up to 20. I averaged up at along the way at $5, $15, so on and so forth. Ultimately, I think my total average for all of my shares was $9 and something cents. It ran up to 72. I didn't sell it. It came back down to 25, and then I ultimately sold it. So AMC was one of my big success. Following that, my biggest ever trade in terms of percentage, not dollar amount, was a stock that I made a video on called FFIE. And I don't know what it's doing right now. This stock probably had some splits, I would say. Probably, I think. Probably had reverse splits because the price seems a bit weird. But yeah, this is when it happened. Yeah, so they did do a reverse split. This stock was 8 cents. And I remember alerting it in my private group, and I told my members, yeah, there's a stock called FFIE that I think has a lot of potential. And I think this stock at that time FFIE had a at that time FFIE had a lot of short interest. And I remember buying it. Actually, I have it right here. This was back in 2024. I bought it for 2,000 shares at an average cost of 8 cents. Oh, actually, I was wrong. It had 84% short interest. It's crazy. Wow, that's a lot. And yeah, I was like, this stock is gonna run, man. This stock is gonna run. A lot of people were playing it. I kept on playing it. Oh man, I actually played Beyond Meat at that time as well. Holy crap! Now that I look at it, so this was part of the same hemisphere. But I remember FFIE ran a lot, and what I forgot, was it 5,000%? Was it that much? Because it went up to like $5 if I remember correctly. Uh, or was it up to like $3 if I remember correctly? I forgot. But this stock ran a lot, and I remember this being my biggest winner. Because it was a percentage that uh I would have never thought was possible. Um, in terms of dollar amount, I had very few amount of shares. Holy crap, he made 100K on it. In terms of dollar amounts, I had very few amounts of share, but I remember this stock ran. Um, did I even say that it ran 5,000%. I forgot actually. Now that I look at it, I don't see. Oh no, is it, not like it went 5,000% in under 1 week. Yeah, so it did end up it did end up going 5,000%, and yeah, I did end up closing the rest of it. So yeah, at that time it did go crazy. Yeah, so it's funny because I actually did end up writing it. That not that it went 5,000% and then proceeded to take. Yeah, there you go. There's a member who made 3,000%. Yeah, it was one of the biggest. I don't think I'll ever top this. I don't think I'll ever catch a 5,000%. I've caught a couple of 1,000%ers, but I don't think I'll ever catch a 5,000%. That is practically impossible, I would say at this point. Maybe you never know. Maybe Beyond Meat might be the one. But yeah, if you guys also want to get every single trade that I take in my private group, link will be in the descriptions below. You can use the code 1month for what is it, like 75% off of the monthly subscription to see how this room is. We're currently doing a challenge, and the challenge has been really, really good, especially today. We made a bunch of trades, Beyond Meat being one of them, which I'm currently up 65% on, so on and so forth. But yeah, you can go ahead and check it out, if you want to make money. All right. So let's talk about Beyond Meat, because to me, this one seems as though there is some potential here. This one seems like we may be heading for some big moves. Now, of course, market is currently closed. It just closed. Beyond Meat is closing at at a high of what, 370, so, or 363. Pre-market, it's up a little bit to 370. We could very easily see this gap up to $5 plus. For me, what I mentioned in my alert is I did take a $5 call, very small size, one contract, pure lotto, and I took this for my challenge account. I'm not gonna do big size on my challenge account. I did, however, take it on my main account a little bit more, because it's my main account. It's a bigger portfolio size. I have more risk on it, so I was able to take more contracts on that one. 100 contracts to be exact. But yeah, for this play, $5 calls already up like 65% before market close. This one is doing very well, and my goal was to just see if we could squeeze to 5 plus. I mean, the fact that it's already pretty close, like it's almost $4 today, we might just gap up to 5 plus tomorrow. Now, one of the news that I saw that kind of made me think, okay, this could be the reason we ignited on this stock today, is because Beyond Meat expands distribution at Walmart. So this news came out very early in the morning, and it just kind of created this hype. And I was wondering why that hype might be, why Wall Street Bets and all these guys are going in on this play, and why everybody's talking about it. Well, yeah, it's got a pretty big short interest. Now you can see that on Twitter, people are already, they're all hyped up about this. They're all hyped up about this. They want more. There, some people are calling this the next big one, so on and so forth. A lot of people are invested in it. A lot of people, buying it, and yeah, it's just, you can see the hype, right? You can see the hype. You can see like some people are buying some crazy numbers here, 300,000, like that's insane. Yeah, so this is the next hype. Now, I did hear rumors. I don't know how accurate this is. This might be completely false. You go verify that on your own. But I heard rumors that apparently Roaring Kitty has been buying Beyond Meat as well. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not gonna bet on that, but yeah, people do get hyped when he starts doing something. Maybe he'll make a tweet. I don't know. Maybe he might tweet about Beyond Meat next week, which would create even more hype. Like the last time he did on a stock. I think, what was it, Chewy stock or something, and Chewy stock started going crazy, something like that. So he could pump it. You never know. But the main reason I'm bringing it is the short interest. To be honest, this is what caught my eye. It's a pretty big short interest. FFIE had an 84% short interest, and it ran like a maniac. This one, pretty close. Like, it's not 84%, but 62% is still massive. So there are a lot of shorts in here. And as we know, when there's a lot of shorts, retails tend to get a little hyped about it, and they're pumping Beyond Meat. So it could be that Beyond Meat might go for a big run. So what I'm looking for, and I'm going to give you a few levels here on the chart so that you can kind of make your judgments about it and take advantage of, where you can enter and so on. I don't know if it's going to gap up tomorrow or gap down, but a couple of spots to keep an eye on. One of them being this spot right here. It is around this $5 area, 480 to be exact. We got a bit of a resistance here that could act as a top. It has tried getting through this 480 $5 zone, but has been failing. So if somehow we clear that on a short squeeze, I would assume there's going to be a lot of shorts that are going to start getting stopped out above that. Anything higher than that, the next big spot, in my opinion, is probably roughly around the 680 to $7 mark. I see a bit of resistance there. There's a couple of resistance around 766 and a bunch of resistance around this 850. Once you clear that 850, I think you're kind of smooth sailing to minimum 10. 10, 1050, potentially 11. 11 takes us to 12. Then 12 is where things get kind of nuts, because I think 12, we have some gaps here up until 15. Once 12 breaks, I think 15 is just too easy. Will we get up to that point? I don't know, to be honest. I mean, this stock is so beaten down. My honest thought is if we can get above $5, we should see $7 to $10, and that's pretty much my goal for this play. Anything above 10, I'll re-enter the stock and see where it leads. But that's just kind of my idea. It does have earnings coming up on tomorrow. I'm a little skeptical about that. Could create some issues. If the earnings isn't good, it could drop right back down. So take this move with a grain of salt. But yeah, we're almost at $4 now. It's getting pumped in pre-market. It most likely easily going to gap up to $5 plus. So yeah, I am liking what I'm seeing. Could this be the next GameStop, the next AMC? Could this squeeze like FFIE? Did I get in late, or am I early and it's going to go to, who knows, 20, 30, 40, $50? You never know. Keep an eye on this one. There isn't really much of a fundamental to do other than, yeah, this got a lot of short interest. Let's just see how far it can go. You can pair it with technicals as much as you want, but at the end of the day, as long as people are still buying it and trying to trap shorts as much as possible, it's gonna keep on pumping. And yeah, it's just driven by short squeeze, and you're literally looking for a short squeeze. Will the squeeze be explosive? That's the question. So keep an eye on this one. Play it according to your own due diligence, and yeah, have fun with it. Make as much money as you can, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.